Okay, so we are still in plane surface. Okay, so we have looked at the one variable, okay, in the previous video, the example. So now we want to look at the two variable. Okay, so for these two variable, we know that one variable is missing. Okay, so for example, in this example, in this equation, z is missing. Okay, for this example, x is missing, and for this example, y is missing. Okay, so recall back the steps. Okay, so if one of those variable is missing, either x, y, or z, okay, so first we need to determine the existing variable, okay, and then we need to sketch the trace, alright, and also we need to make the projection. Okay, so what is trace? Okay, so basically trace is a line. Okay, so it's a line. Okay, so for two variable we will have one trace. Okay, but for three variable we have three trace. Okay, why three trace? Because we need to sketch these three traces. Okay, and then we need to combine. But for the one variable missing, we only have one trace only to be considered, and then make the projection. Okay, alright, so that is the difference between the two variables and three variables. Okay, the traces. Okay, so now we already look at the example for one variable, okay, which is in this example 1. Okay, so now we move to the next example. Okay, example 2. Okay, alright. So given a constant equation with two variable, okay, and we have one variable is missing, okay, and then sketch the traces or the planes and the graph of each of the following surfaces in 3D. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Alright, okay, so now how you want to find the trace? Okay, so we only have one trace here. Okay, trace. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Y equal to minus x plus 6. Okay, so we want to sketch the trace. Okay, so we have x and y exist this time. Okay, we have x and y. Okay, so for y equal to minus x plus 6, we know that we have a negative slope. Okay, and it's negative slope, and it's passing by 6 here. Okay, so in order to find the value on the x-axis, of course we need to choose the value of y 0, right? So when 0, choose different. Okay, when y equal to negative x plus 6, so when y is 0, negative x plus 6, so x is equal to 6. Okay, so now we have the value here is 6. Okay, alright, so now this is the trace. Okay, so if now we need to do a projection. Okay, the projection is in the 3D. That is the last step. Okay, so the second step is the trace. Okay, the third step is the projection. Okay, the projection is we need to do the 3D axis. Okay, so x, y, and z. Okay, so you can have like x, y, and z, or you can have like x, y, z. Okay, so it depends on you. Okay, so which x, y, and z, so which plane, okay, or which axis that you prefer. Okay, so let's say for example in this case we want to choose this one. Okay, but basically you need to label. Okay, so it will be, okay, so x, y, okay, so let's say this is a z. Okay, so from the trace you know that it is X and Y axis. Okay, so you need to sketch also the trace on the projection here. You need to project, okay, the trace, okay, into the 3D. Okay, so you know that the graph will be like this, right? So 6 and 6 here. Okay, so let's say you choose a different version. Let's say you choose this axis. So basically still you need to project like this. Okay, so where the X is the 6, the intercept, okay, and the X Y also 6. Okay, so it will be like that. Okay, it depends on the axis that you sketch. Okay, so now this is projection. Okay, so now we need to sketch for the projection line. Okay, so what is projection line? Okay, so before we project before we sketch the projection line, okay, so we need to sketch a few lines on the this one here. So for example, let's say we have Z at 6. Okay, so what will be the trace look like at Z equal to 5? For example, let's say that one is the Z equal to 5 there. Okay, so how I want to sketch? Okay, so it can be still like this, right? Okay, alright, so basically the projection line is parallel to Z axis. Okay, you need to sketch like this. Okay, you need to continue. Okay, and it is parallel to Z. Okay, therefore you know that this is the surface. Okay, the surface for Y equal to negative X plus 6. Okay, first you need to determine what is the variable. Okay, and then we can sketch the axis, okay, X and Y, and then we do the trace. Okay, so after we do the trace, then we project, okay, do the projection into 3D axis, 3D dimension, and then we we make it a projection line to look at the surface. Okay, alright. So let's say we choose the graph here. Okay, the axis there. Okay, so it will be, okay, so how? Okay, so let's say X. Okay, so here is X. Okay, so let's say here is Y, here is Z. Okay, so basically, okay, you know that the trace is at X is 6 and Y is 6. Okay, for example, okay, therefore it will be like that. That is the trace on the 3D. Okay, so now, okay, you can have another line, another trace, okay, at another point on the Z. Okay, and then you still need to sketch on the same intersection. Okay, and then lastly you need to draw the projection line. Okay, so it will be here. Okay, so it depends on your axis. Okay, so a different person may choose a different axis. Okay, different dimension. Okay, someone can use XYZ and someone use YXZ or ZXY and so on. Okay, so it depends. Okay, so this is how we sketch. Okay, so let's try B. Okay, so we have 2y equal to 4z plus 5. Okay, so I erase this. Okay, first of course we need to find the trace, and then we need to project, and then do the projection line to get the surface. Okay, so for the trace here, now we need to determine what is the existing variable. Okay, so in this case the existing variable is y and z. So of course we need to sketch for y and z. Okay, so let's say this is the axis. Okay, so we need to sketch the trace for y and z. What will be the line? Okay, all right. Okay, since this one is linear, right? So of course the trace is the line. Okay, so we have 2y. Okay, so let's say in this case we want to let, okay, so if the z here, y here, okay, so meaning that we need to rearrange this to y equal to 4z plus 5. So make it z is equal to what? Okay, so for example in this case 4z equal to 5 minus 2y, sorry, the other way around, sorry, for z, okay, so 2y minus 5, therefore z equal to 1 over 2y minus 5 over 4. Okay, let's say you want to have, here is z, here is y. Okay, so your line will be 2y equal to 4z plus 5 and y equal to 2z plus 5 over 2. Okay, so it depends. Okay, so you need to rearrange. Okay, so this one z will be in front so that the graph, okay, is yz axis. Okay, so if y here, okay, meaning that you have the zy axis. Okay, alright, so let's say you choose either one. Okay, so let's say I choose this one lah. Okay, let's say I choose this, y equal to 2z plus 5 over 2. Okay, so we ignore this. Okay, so this one also okay. Okay, this one also can. Okay, but I don't want you to get confused. I just erase this. Okay, so let's say you choose that as the axis. Okay, so now you have y equal to 2z plus 5. Okay, so it will be, you know that it will be positive slope, so it will be here. Okay, and then it is intersect at the 5 over 2, so it will be here 5 over 2. Okay, and then for down here you need to calculate for y equal to 0. So y equal to 2z plus 5 over 2, 0, 2z plus 5 over 2 minus 5 over 2, 2z. Therefore z is equal to minus 5 over 4. Minus 5 over 4. Okay, so here is minus 5 over 4. Okay, so that is your trace, okay, for zy axis. Okay, so now you need to project. Okay, let's say you have okay, it doesn't matter. So okay, where is your axis? Okay, so it depends on your axis. So let's say you have x, y and z here. Okay, so if you want to see the trace, okay, so basically you will stand here. Okay, you will stand at the x-axis because you will see the y and z. Okay, so for this case, okay, so z is negative. Okay, so z is negative, so meaning that it is a negative 5 over 4 and y is positive. Okay, so sorry, z is negative. Okay, so let's say, okay, we change z and y lah. Okay, so we change that one, change here and here, it's easier for us. Okay, so z and y. Okay, so we have z negative, y positive. Okay, so we can sketch like this. Okay, so here is 5 over 2, here is negative 5 over 4. Okay, so you can see the trace there. Okay, from your angle is x. Okay, and then you need to have another axis. Okay, so for example like that, and then you need to have the same trace. Okay, minus. Okay, so it be like this. Okay, therefore you need to do the projection line. Okay, so this will be your